Yeah, so you know the joke I was making about Just Dance 5 earlier?
Oh, no. Can we blame Montreal for this?
I mean, it's mostly their fault. Can we go back to the PC gaming show now? There's a fucking lion right there.
There's a crab.
Why
with a chef's
What
hat.
is happening? I'm gonna stop you. It's really important. You have a guy in a lion costume.
There's a panda.
What are you doing to me? And to Queen? It's worse. I can't even put this on YouTube. I'll get immediately claimed. They know this. They know this for a fact. They know we can't put our snark on YouTube here. This is why they picked this song. You know, the new trailer for We Happy Few is a little bit different to the last one. I think we made a horrible mistake switching streams. What do you think?
Are you sure this isn't so you think you can dance or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
Don't
Why
say
are you
that! He's not actually playing
Why
it!
are you applauding this?
It's
oh
a
no,
cardboard.
it's Aisha Taylor as well. Oh, Jesus, this is gonna be...
Hey, everybody, thank you. Wow.
Oh,
my
dear.
God, you guys are awesome.
Shut up, Lana.
You guys are awesome. You guys were confusing and awesome. And my mom has those boots, by the way. She wants them back. Ladies and gentlemen, you know when you see a dancing crab and a baby bird with a paper collar that you could only be at the Ubisoft E3 press conference.
Yes, you do.
I mean, she's not wrong. I will give her that.
Dancers, can you guys bring it in behind me for a second? Just gather around. Get behind me here. It's a special year. And I want to
Is it?
take a moment to do something that's going to feel a little incongruous and potentially even uncomfortable for some of you.
I am already
There's no smooth or
very
easy way to
uncomfortable
do this, but
right
We
now.
all felt really strongly when we were rehearsing today that we needed to say this. So before we start, everyone here at Ubisoft want to offer our deepest sympathies to the people affected by this weekend's tragedy in Orlando. Our hearts, the hearts of everyone in Paris, in France, in the United States, and around the world are with you.
Paris and France aren't
And now-
too different.
Hush now. Not the time to snark. Not for this one. I mean, they're not wrong.
And now with human giraffe on my right.
I'd say maybe doing that directly after the dancing panda wasn't the best idea, but okay. I'll appreciate the sentiment.
Fun stuff. Thanks for coming on, guys. Dance away. Dance away.
Dance
The
far,
madness that you
far
just saw
away.
was courtesy of the Movement Wizards at Just Dance 2017. Just Dance has always been at the forefront of innovation, bringing its experience to new devices and also introducing the world to the first dance-on-demand streaming service with Just Dance Unlimited. And today, Ubisoft is pleased to announce that Just Dance 2017 will be coming to all video game platforms and PC in October and to the Nintendo NX next year.
Much to the horror of everyone.
Well, it's coming to a console that we have not seen yet and have no idea what the bloody hell it is. Right, okay.
Singing at you out of your television screen. Hello and welcome to everybody lucky enough to be sitting here in this theater and even
Lucky.
What's actually happened is they've chained the doors. They can't escape.
You probably didn't shower today. I am Aisha Tyler. Some of you probably didn't shower.
Ha
Judgment here.
Nerds!
I am Aisha
They're
Tyler,
smelly.
standing in the historic Orpheum Theater in vaguely beautiful yet faintly urine-scented downtown Los Angeles. It's true, right? It's underneath everything.
It's a
And the
heel move,
badges
I'll
are
give it
on
that.
everyone's necks, and the smiles on everyone's faces can only mean one thing. It is E3 conference time. Now, 2016 is a huge
Fucking conference
year.
year!
It's
Super
my fifth
psyched.
time hosting this conference. Yes. And you all know what the traditional gift is for a 5th anniversary, yeah? That's right, my friends, wood. Or girl wood.
Aha, that means penis.
Now, people they always ask me, like, why do I continue to do this conference in the face of the overwhelming internet love that I receive?
That is a question I would ask you. Not maybe in the same way that you would intend to take it, but...
Ubisoft is French.
Why are you still here is a good question. It's one that we're not going to get an answer to this year.
They're paying me in red wine and sarcasm, you guys. No, I come back every year because
this person is a walking,
games.
talking hot topic.
Games, I adore them, and I love being a part of the excitement that comes with revealing new games to the world. Every day, every year when I do this, I'm like a kid in a candy store. A really large, slightly masculine kid in a candy store. And speaking of excitement, it's Ubisoft's 30th birthday. Yeah, give it up for Ubi. Or Ubi. Ubi may be 30, but like everyone else here in Hollywood, it hasn't aged a bit. It gets drunk on weekdays and dresses inappropriately, but whatever makes it feel young. Now, over these 3 decades, Ubisoft has been flexing its creative muscles, giving its teams the freedom to push boundaries and create games that are memorable, fun, and sometimes a little crazy. So, enough talk. We're going to hit fast forward right now and get straight to the games.
That's something I would have loved to have seen 5 minutes ago, but okay.
As long as we don't talk about Just Dance.
Well, I think we're done.
We're
done with that.
And if you're at home playing a drinking game, yes, an F-bomb in the first 5 minutes of this show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Ghost Recon Wildlands.
This is the polar opposite of what the PC Gaming Show was. The PC Gaming Show felt honest, sincere.
Showed gameplay.
Genuinely cool in many ways. Just focused on showing off really cool things by happy people. This is ridiculous.
If you follow me, I feed your families. Give you shelter, medicine, and jobs. Shield you from the tyrants. Allow La Santa Muerte to protect you from death. I give you power. I make you rich. But most of all, I let you rule like kings. But for those that oppose me...
I am not the sort of person that generally says things like this, but does this feel slightly uncomfortable after what they just said 5 minutes ago?
Just a bit.
And destroy it in front of
And honestly, it takes a lot to put me in that mindset, you know? It's fiction. It really is, but... I mean, maybe put this towards the end? Not 5 minutes after the memorial?
I just think it was a kind of inappropriate placement. Either way, like, after the dancing introduction, before this.
I mean, even that, even if they didn't just do a memorial for 50 plus dead innocent people in a mass shooting, maybe putting it after the Cirque dancing is a bit weird. A little bit out of place. Again, fictional violence. Doesn't translate to real violence. Never bloody will. Anyone that claims that is going against science and common sense. But, it just feels a little off. Just a bit off. Maybe, 30 minutes down the line.
Ghost, hit the money, hit the drugs, then hit the king.
Not a big deal. Not a huge deal. But, it's okay to feel a little uncomfortable sometimes. Just a bit. You don't have to be completely emotionless.
In Bolivia, the coca leaf is core to the culture. It's found in every gas station, every hospital, and every town square. And they use it for a variety of things, like treating nausea and altitude sickness, to a refreshing energy drink. But it can also be used to make cocaine. So we asked, what if? What if a Mexican drug cartel moved in, took over the entire country, seized all of those coca resources to become the #1 producer of cocaine on the planet, effectively turning Bolivia into a narco state. This is the world of Ghost Recon Wildlands. And you? Well, you're the ghosts. The elite spec ops drop deep behind enemy lines to create chaos and disrupt the alliance between a corrupt local government and the Santa Blanca cartel, ultimately going after their leader, the vicious El Sueño. Hi, everybody. My name is Dominic Butler. I'm the lead game designer for Ghost Recon Wildlands.
I'm afraid they're turning Ghost Recon into another open world, side quest, get the objectives, climb the towers kind of game. What do you think?
Far Cry 3?
It's definitely giving me that vibe. And I don't like that because Ghost Recon for a long time has been really cool. Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter was maybe the first good game on Xbox 360. It was an awesome experience, but it's starting... All Ubisoft games are, certainly actually have been for the last few years, they feel like they're becoming the same game.
Ubisoft has ever done.
But we're really good at making this specific genre.
The thing is, I'm not even sure if they are.
No, but I'm just saying, like, maybe that's how they feel. These are our strengths. Let's play on those.
Them constantly.
Because he makes the bodies disappear. Now, the ghosts know that their target is in a large Santa Blanca camp somewhere in the San Mateo province, but they don't know where yet exactly. And because Ghost Recon Wildlands gives you the total freedom of choice to do what you want, when you want,
as long as it involves shooting people in the face,
players' hands to achieve their objectives their way. In this case, the ghosts know that their target has some vital intel. They want to take him alive, so they've opted for a tactical extraction. Let's go get that intel.
It's Just Cause. Look at it. Just Cause, only slightly, I don't know, sandier.
Here we go. The intel we need supposed to be in this Sicario's house. Looks like it's upstairs.
Copy that.
Need any help?
Nah,
Oh god, it's Ubisoft's fake voice actor co-op gameplay again. They will not stop doing this for some reason.
There's one right there. Boom, got you.
We're gonna make it feel real.
I'm a ghost. Mom.
I'm in.
Bring me.
Oh shit, I've been spotted.
later.
You good? Yep, got it. Just
I'm in
move
the middle of a
upstairs.
tactical extraction. No, I don't want chocolate milk right now.
Okay, I got the intel on El Pozolero.
No computer is that fast, especially not in a country like that.
We could use a ride. You got a car out there?
No, something better. You ready?
Nobody talks this way.
Let's go.
You got it.
I'm not gonna hold on at all.
Well, because he's badass. He's a tactical ghost operative.
Yeah, using his butt cheeks to,
Mom,
like,
no,
hold on.
No, Mom, I can't save the game. This isn't Mario.
According to the intel, the camp should be near this cliff.
El Pozolero's a high-value
Still not
target.
holding on. He's been aiming that gun the same way the
Look
entire
at
time.
how accurate he is while moving in a fucking heli. He's tilting. He'd fall out.
I
He's not
know.
even strapped in. This is extremely dangerous.
Right on time. We're going after
Don't even hold on while landing. No, we don't need to.
It's actually Ghost Recon while landing.
We're approaching the camp from the west. We'll meet you there.
Copy that.
Where the hell did he get that?
Stole the warthog.
It's like Bolivia now with the warthogs. Hey, what? Oh, it's a tower! It's a radio tower! There's several towers!
Oh, snap. Snap, we just went
You know it's an Ubisoft. There's spotting, there's radio towers. Fucking perfect.
Tag the lookout. Can you get him?
Roger that. One less to worry about.
Okay, we're splitting up.
Weaver, can you get to a good sniper position
Okay,
on the south
right.
side?
Explain to me why the entire outpost is in an uproar right now, having heard that obvious sniper report.
Train station at the east end of camp.
Mom, no. I'm playing with my internet friends.
Heads up. Enemy spotted.
I got eyes on a sniper.
Wait for my signal.
Got it.
Now.
Tango down. Let's move.
Absolutely vital to kill both of them at the exact same time.
Well, obviously, yes.
Yes.
Despite the fact that suppressors are magical and nobody noticed what was happening.
2 guys. I got the one on the right. You ready? Ready.
Go.
Good job.
Okay, I'm gonna deploy the drone and see what's up ahead.
I mean, this is basically a simplified co-op MGS5, right? That's what we're seeing here.
Looks like an old town that Santa Blanca's turned into a base.
And you can tell this is definitely like Bolivia, because, you know, in America, we would have already had like 2 police officers at our door complaining about our drone.
Found my way in, guys.
The neighbors are very upset. They think you're peeping on them. I'm glad that absolutely nobody has noticed the giant flying drone.
Got it. And another one down. Moving through.
If you ask me what are like the top 3 E3 trends that I'd like to see go away, I think the fake co-op VoIP would be top of the list at this point.
Can of acid or something.
Yeah, look pretty nasty.
Come on, guys, let's move.
All right, all right. I think I found my spot. Nearly there.
Careful, there's more of them the closer you get.
Only one left. Okay, I'm in position.
I don't even see why you need co-op. Wait, you just said only one left. There's 2 over there. Oh, now they finally noticed you. Okay. Why would you need co-op gameplay when you have the magical suppressor that nobody can ever hear?
Going in.
Don't let this guy get away.
I see him. We'll talk about nightmare fuel.
Call us if you need us.
Don't worry, man. I got this. Shit! You spotted me. Guys!
That's because he took his suppressor off, man. Wait a minute. He was just standing there after he opened fire.
Okay, he's in a white SUV heading for the east end of the camp.
That's not scripted or anything.
Got it. I'm moving to intercept.
You remember Ghost Recon used to be about, you know, tactical shooting?
Yeah.
Not Grand Theft Auto?
Where is he? Where is he? Shit, no, he's moving too fast. He went the other way.
Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go.
Hurry up, the gate's closing.
I am right behind you. Weaver, are you okay?
I'm good.
Frag out. I'm pulling out.
This is just Ghost. This is not Ghost Recon anymore. I'm sorry. Like,
Your franchise is dead.
I can certainly see why this would be enjoyable, certainly with the right group of people. Totally.
It's got the wrong name.
I do dig games like this, but this is not Ghost Recon anymore. This is basically Grand Theft Auto at this point.
All right, I'm heading for the chopper now.
Damn, he's trying to ram the car. I gotta hit his engine.
No, I'm trying to slow him down.
Did he really have to hit his engine, though? You know, hitting the engine block with a regular weapon, maybe just, you know, take out the tires or, I don't know, shoot him.
Where's the chopper?
That's what he meant by slowing them down.
Conveniently, we hit a chopper in this exact location.
I'm in the chopper. Coming your way.
Why not just hijack the train while you're on?
All right, I'm on my way, guys. Hey,
This is basically a more boring A-Team.
Oh, man, come on, come on. I'm trying.
Aren't you supposed to extract him? You literally just riddled him with bullets. How are you supposed to get intel from him that way?
No, we're not gonna push him off.
Looks like he's losing control.
Can't imagine why.
I don't know how it looks up there, but that's what I'm trying to do.
Very stealthy, tactical Spec Ops agents. The entire country now knows you're here.
But you're a ghost.
Who's spooky?
Yeah, just jump.
Yeah, why not?
Out you get, buddy.
Hurry up, we got cartel.
Was he driving with those gloves on? That seems very impractical. I mean, you get really sweaty.
You go.
Adios. Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, because they can't possibly shoot down your chopper.
Quiet! Helicopters are invincible, didn't you know?
Apparently they are.
They're not highly fragile things that fall apart at the first sign of trouble.
That was a tough mission. Oh, man.
Was it? Really, though? Was it a tough mission? I mean, you took no damage whatsoever and you have magical suppressors. I don't believe you for a second. You want a tough mission? Play Ghost Recon 2.
Head over to ghostrecon.com right now for all the latest news and gameplay videos. For those of you here at E3, please come by the booth. We've got 4-player co-op demos, and we would love for you to try it. We want to get your feedback.
We are begging. Well, Ghost Recon is dead. I'm sorry, as a franchise, it is now buried.
Thank you. Have a great show.
What else we got?
Crime in the United States is escalating at an alarming pace. The statistics are staggering.
Ubisoft has become a massive fan of murder lately, you noticed?
And guns.
They really do like that. A lot of rioting, a lot of shooting people. There's a market for that. It's just rather one note at the moment. It's starting to bore me. That's the problem.
Authorities are helpless in stopping this epidemic of crime. Civilization is being pushed to the brink. To stem the rising tide of violence and re-establish order, extreme steps must be taken. The question becomes, who will take them?
Oh,
what? That... You sneaky bastards!
The king!
You sneaky bastards! You just parodied your own trailer.
We just took some stuff from Snowdrop and said, make cool trailer, and that's what it puts out. So that's kind of the way that goes. But all that chaos, all that scary stuff is totally true. Thankfully, the crew is up to the occasion.
I'm gonna give them credit for that. They got me. They fucking got me completely with that.
Superheroes or kids in superhero costumes. So
well played.
Cocoon, I need
well
some help
played.
with friends. Please welcome Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Yeah.
We don't get to talk over Trey Parker and Matt Stone, I don't think. I think that's heresy.
Oh, really? None of the stuff from the Book of Mormon can play. No, we've got to all do
Quiet,
something.
you.
A comfy couch.
Trey Parker is talking.
I had it brought
Finally,
in.
sit down.
I know, it's an exhausting walk all the way from there. So let's talk about the story. Everybody wants to know what's going on in the Fractured But Whole.
Don't know yet.
Yeah.
Pretty soon.
There are ways to find out.
It picks up where the Stick of Truth kind of left off. You're the new kid. If you played Stick of Truth, you would know that in it, you're the new kid who moved to South Park. And so the game's really about who you are, and you kind of define who you are in South Park. But whereas the Stick of Truth was like a fantasy send-up, and you end up being the king in the end. And it's like the next day in South Park, and the kids have sort of switched up, and now they're playing superheroes.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, and so we actually have a backstory that the kids have been playing superhero, but they got into a big fight about something, so they're in the Civil War part of their
kind of Civil War.
And in fact, Marvel wanted to call their movie Captain America: The Fractured But Whole, but we had already taken that name, so they had to call their Civil War.
Lucky. It's true. It's a true story. That's extremely true.
You've single-handedly saved the Ubisoft conference. Well done.
Who you are as this new kid, and the fact that in Stick of Truth you really rose to being cool because you became king. But in this game they've kind of switched games, and so you're back to being a douchebag again.
Right, so let's see how that douchebag was able to make it into Coon and Friends. Real gameplay.
Dude, what the fuck? Who let this ordinary citizen into the Coon lair? Listen, bro, we are all superheroes, and
I'm sorry. Yeah, actually, never mind. South Park. Don't need to say it.
Hey! Do not touch that! That device can blow up the entire Milky Way galaxy! Jesus, fuck! Mom! The new kid is trying to play with the cube of ultimate destruction!
You be nice to all your friends, Eric. Be a good sharer.
Good sharer, it'll blow up the fucking galaxies! Stupid bitch! Look, dude, we already told you, you can't play. You aren't a superhero. You don't have a costume. You don't have any superpowers. Freedom Pals are adding people to their franchise. We should be adding people to ours. This dork, like, wearing a little crown? Does this look like a superhero to you? All right.
It's... I'm not even a big South Park fan, and I appreciate this.
That's Mysterion Seed. Not there either, stupid. All right, in order to play superheroes, you have to have a superhero persona. Then you can fill out your character sheet on Kunstagram. Do you have a Kunstagram page? Oh boy, you're not even on Kunstagram, huh? Well, I guess I can create one for you. Fucking unbelievable. Let's see. So the first thing we need to fill out on your character sheet is your class. You know, what kind of superhero are you?
Please still have Jew.
Speedster. Ah, yes, like the Flash or Quicksilver. I like it.
Yes. Wow.
No,
I didn't see
show us
Jew.
more.
I think they've taken Jew away, which really, you know, is very anti-Semitic that they would take that away like that.
You saw on that UI that there are a dozen different superhero classes you can choose from. You mix and match powers from those classes and really make a superhero all your own. But what else is new in the Fractured But Whole?
Well, I mean, that's obviously. I mean,
just the fact that that's the game.
There's definitely more of defining your character and kind of in superhero movies. There's always like the intense emotional center that like motivates why you have to go out and fight crime. So it's a much, as you can already tell, it's a much more spiritual.
It's a more spiritual.
It's more spiritual game. It's much more about.
There's actually a part of it that I'm really proud of where there's a gay fish in South Park.
Can you just stay forever, please?
The gay fish actually wants you to help him get his mother into heaven. And so you get to journey up and try to help this little gay fish get his mom into heaven. And you're all acting like this shit's regular.
Shit is hard.
This shit is hard.
It was hard.
I hope you all saw the Kanye thing.
If you didn't see the Kanye thing, that won't make it.
I do not like fish sticks.
I don't know what that reference is.
You know, Cartman's the one who's kind of in charge of telling each superhero what their tragic backstory was that made them a superhero.
My wife is not a hobbit.
I, again, don't understand.
Who let this guy join us anyway? Go easy on him, you guys. He's had a tough life, and it's time they learned your tragic backstory. You lay awake that night. Like so many other nights, you couldn't sleep because you knew you weren't like the other kids. You walked to the mirror. You looked in the mirror and you felt alone. And that's when it happened. A loud noise. You swore you could hear your mother calling for help.
Oh, no.
Oh, man.
Your room. You left your room.
I love it when games recognize that you're a dick and won't do what they say. It's just a thing of mine.
Walk through the door already? But then you finally reached your parents' door. And what you saw when you opened that door changed your life forever and led you to fighting crime. You were too late, because when you opened that door, you saw your dad fuck your mom. What? Butthole doesn't trust anyone because his dad fucked his mom and he couldn't do anything to stop it.
That doesn't make any sense.
I know. How could the person you trust do that to the only other person you love?
Cartman, everyone's dad fucked everyone's mom.
Huh?
That's how it works, stupid. Our dads fucked our moms.
Oh, right. So does that mean your dad fucked your mom, Cal? Huh?
Yes, my dad fucked my mom. That's why I'm here.
Don't steal his backstory, dude. That's not cool.
Stay forever, please. You're much better than everything else Ubisoft has.
I can see there's a
Can we get a hashtag Where's the Jew going, by the way? Is that a thing we can do right now?
That couldn't possibly be a bad idea, could it?
I mean, I just feel like I have this power, and without abusing that power, the power is pointless. Hashtag Where's the Jew?
So obviously that's pretty brutal. We've got another thing in South Park that's brutal, our combat, and we worked on that a lot.
Brutal combat in South Park.
That's what you expect out of South Park, right?
Stick of truth. And it's a superhero game, so it has the combat is definitely the center
Yeah,
centerpiece.
it was actually pretty cool because we, us and the guys from Ubisoft, we'd come down and talk about what this game would be, and we'd go back to my house afterwards and play board games, because I'm a big board gamer. So we'd play all like my favorite board games and tabletop miniature type of games.
I love you more every day.
We still wanted to keep some of the turn-based stuff because it really makes it easier to do story, and so we just tried to do a big 4.0 version of Stick of Truth.
Right. I mean, all of those sessions, it's a lot of very real clarity that comes from.
I'm not okay with you skipping several versions. Those are major version numbers, damn it. Look, if you don't respect the system, the whole system collapses in on itself.
Let's talk about space. You're not restricted to a location anymore. Now you can move to get into tactical positions on your enemies. Ooh. You can also move to get behind cover. You can push and pull enemies.
This looks phenomenal.
You can knock them into props and get a little extra damage. You can knock them into other characters and get an extra attack. You can use some of your powers like Tweak here to get over obstacles. So obviously using space makes a big difference.
When we first started watching South Park about 30 years ago, did you ever believe this would happen?
No, because basically I remember getting suspended from school from wearing a South Park t-shirt. And I just thought, no one's ever going to tolerate this.
How is this series still around, and how is it still making good shit?
Use them to rip the fabric of time itself.
Like Ghost Recon.
This is actually more tactical than Ghost Recon. And I'm actually not joking about that either.
Rearrange the turn order. Mastering space and time makes a huge difference. I can't wait for you guys to get your hands on it. Let's bring it out with big volume.
It gets loud too.
Yeah,
it's a loud game.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Sometimes I love video games. Sometimes.
So then we did all that, and now we do the business part.
The business part? Oh, awesome. What's that part?
It's obviously been an amazing game for us to work on, and I think both of our teams have been having a ton of fun. And we're almost done, and now we have some exciting news for ourselves.
Oh, he did that on purpose!
Anyone who buys the Fractured But Whole will get the Stick of Truth for PS4, Xbox One, and Steam for free. If you pre-purchase the game today...
Why? But no, if we pre-purchase the game, the chances are we're going to pre-order the game, we already played the first one.
So check out our website for information and about our participation.
So I've never truly understood when they do that.
Yep. Cool. Sounds great. You don't want to
So we made a trailer if you want to see it.
Yeah.
Sort of shows what the boys are fighting about. That was the Civil War Fractured Butthole part of it.
People want to know the release date.
Could you please? Yes.
Yeah, what do you think it is? What do you think it is?
I'm putting my money on December 6th. The Fractured But Whole will be released on December 6th.
That child is far too young to be watching this.
There it is. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Enjoy the trailer.
No, don't go! We'll have to deal with Ubisoft's bullshit now.
Why did we choose this life? Why did we become superheroes? We dedicate our lives to fighting crime for one reason: to make $1 billion on a superhero franchise. Now let's go through the plan one more time. First, we start with the Coon movie. Then we do the Super Craig movie. Then Super Craig and Coon will join forces in the Human Kite movie, just as we start ramping up Kenny's Netflix series. How come I have to have the Netflix series? I want a movie too. You have a movie, Mysterion. You're in the third Coon and Friends United movie, after your Netflix series.
Yeah, but he's saying he doesn't ever get his own movie.
Do I get my own movie? Not everyone gets their own movie.
This franchise plan sucks. If we want to make billions of dollars, then I think we should start with the Tupperware movie.
Right, start with a black superhero.
Marvel is making a black superhero movie.
Yeah, now! They waited years to get to that. We follow their plan. We do all the real people first, and we sneak the black guy in phase 3.
How about we just do movies starring all of us, like all the time? But then we're just rehashing the same old material.
There's nothing wrong with doing the exact same movie to start a franchise.
Okay, J.J. Abrams.
Okay, okay.
No.
So he gets 2 movies in phase 1. Guys, we have to just go with this plan. We don't even have 1 movie yet.
How did it get to this? How did we grow so far apart?
You go with the plan. Maybe we'll just go and do our own franchise. Yeah. Oh, you want Civil War? Is that what you want? Yeah, dude, Civil War. Fuck you. Oh, fuck you. Get out of my house. We'll make way more money on our franchise. Go ahead, I bet you don't even get halfway through phase 1 on your franchise, DC Comics.
Wrecked.
I thought Civil War wasn't supposed to happen until phase 3. Shut up, Super Craig.
That font, yeah.
I didn't want to have to do this, but you leave me no choice.
Oh man. PC principle.
Oh god, that looks so good. Well, now the show can only go downhill from there.
Playing that drinking game at home, you probably fell asleep on your computer. And now,
if only.
From the flatulent, prepubescent superheroes of South Park to the snowy post-pandemic streets of New York in Tom Clancy's The Division.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
The Division broke records when it launched earlier this year.
And broke now, more than just records.
Now 93% of its player base has deserted it. Why? Because they found out it has no viable endgame and it's actually incredibly repetitive.
Well, here to tell us more about what's new in The Division, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Julian Garrity, Creative Director from Massive Entertainment.
More like massively disappointing, am I right? Why don't they hire me to host these shows? I've got all the jokes.
Thank you. And thank you for wearing those shoes.
I like to make everybody
I'm not
feel...
actually that short.
No, you're actually taller than me without these shoes on. I'm sorry.
I'll go with that. And thanks to all the Division players out there who are so passionate about
those
it.
who are
Thanks
left.
to all the Division guys that are still playing. Not many of them.
All kinds of new stuff to the game since it debuted. We heard just a little while ago about the Underground, so do you want to tell us more about what's going on with that?
Absolutely. So, in Underground, you and your team will be fighting against a dangerous threat hidden beneath the streets of New York City. And every time you play, the challenge is unique. That means endless replayability and even better rewards the further you go.
No, that does not mean endless replayability. It means endless repetition, certainly. It means endlessly doing the same slightly different thing over and over again, absolutely.
Start taking bets. I know, I'm big and I'm also pushy.
Yes.
I agree.
Underground will be out June 28th on Xbox One and PC, and August 2nd on PS4. And this is just one of the updates we'll be releasing this year. Because for the Division team, this is a long-term commitment. We love this world, you love this world, and we're going to keep on making it better.
Okay, first one may very well be true. I would have loved the world. The world is not the problem with the Division. You know, it is a beautifully realized empty space. That's the problem.
We've got a little surprise for you. To celebrate Ubisoft's 30th birthday, we're giving our fans 3 exclusive outfits to use in-game. Ghost Recon, Rainbow Six, and Splinter Cell.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, I mean, I hope you like running around a world covered in Sam Fisher lookalikes, because that's exactly what that's going to do. Everyone is wearing that.
Good for you, Chad. So, if you're a member of Ubisoft Club, all of these outfits will be free for you with the release of Underground.
What is Ubisoft Club? I don't believe I've ever heard of that before.
I don't know, I have a lot of feelings.
They let us do this. But
I have a lot of feelings. Most of them, I admit, are negative.
Trifocal goggles without getting arrested, like I typically do. So,
oh, the gods of streaming almost saved us from this.
New outfits. More?
We've got one more expansion to talk to you about today. In it, you'll struggle to find meager supplies in New York and fight to survive in some of the most brutal weather conditions imaginable. It's a completely new way of playing the game, and you'll be able to play it very soon.
I want to know how you justify that, though, because up to this point, everything seems pretty reasonable. It's like you got a well-set-up base, you know, good supply lines, logistics are solid, no food problems really of any sort. And then suddenly, oh god, food problems, all of our logistics are useless. I don't get it. It seems very forced, but admittedly, you know, it also seems interesting.
To investigate the rumors of a cure.
Why'd that just fall out of the sky? It looked like a perfectly good helicopter. Oh, snow, our only weakness. I mean, I admit, I'm intrigued to see the survival aspects of it. I just don't know how they're going to properly implement that. It seems to clash so much with what the game is currently now, which is a giant looter shooter. You know, where you have incredibly expensive equipment and you're geared out to the nines.
No food, no water, temperature dropping.
No can openers.
We are not alone out here.
Come on, man.
Yeah. In this world, it's hunter against prey.
I mean, is it though? I mean, it seems like there's quite a few cans there. You probably could have just shared that. The idea that there's no water when there's literally 2 feet of snow on the ground. What exactly do you think snow is?
The storm doesn't care if you live or die.
That's kind of my feelings about The Division, actually.
Evacuation area compromised.
But some of us will survive.
Deathstroke? I don't know. The idea of it being toxic snow doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, well, if it's snowing and it's toxic, then surely you pretty much die by making contact with your face, right? Like, I don't know.
VR
whatever, video games.
Technology for making gaming more accessible. And Ubisoft Montreal's Funhouse team built a game that just about everyone is going to know how to play the minute they put on their headsets. So, here to take us into the world of Eagle Flight, please welcome creative director Charles Houteau, along with 2 huge fans of the game, Palmer Luckey, inventor and founder of Oculus, and Jason Holtman, head of publishing at Oculus VR.
All right, I'm interested. I would say I'm a sucker for VR. I will be a sucker for VR for a long time. I believe that VR is a very cool thing and has a lot of potential. So I'll certainly prefer to watch this rather than Division DLC trailers. Let's just put it that way.
Huge fans of Eagle Flight. It's a very, very intuitive game, and the flight mechanic is super innovative, and it gives you that real freedom of flying in VR. But most of all, it's just super fun, and by super fun, I mean, I can beat Palmer almost every time I play.
That's not true. But I mean, we've been playing this game.
Just want to point out, by the way, Oculus setup is not this fast. It really is not.
For us to come and show everybody that we can beat you guys at your own game.
Yeah. Let's see what you got, Palmer.
Let's
go. Let's go.
Hello, everyone. My name's Carsten Myhill, and I'm going to talk you through, for the first time ever at E3,
I am the most British man you've ever heard.
It's called Capture the Prey. And 2 teams of 3 will battle it out in the skies over Paris. Over here, we have the blue team, resplendent in their Hawaiian shirts, led by Palmer Luckey, Olivier, and Vicky, and the red team, led by Jason Holtman, with his 2 wingmen, Andre and Charlie.
Admittedly, one has to admit, a game based on flying probably is not 100% immersive when you're sitting down.
So if we're ready to go, let's fly. So we can see the first location of the prey, right there at the foot of the Eiffel Tower, and they have to take it to the nest to score a point. It's a bit like football. They have to work as a team, taking the object and bringing it to a goal. All right, maybe not the greatest analogy in the world, but you get the idea. Teamwork is key to succeeding in this game.
Certainly a little odd that they would make this an Oculus game. This is sort of the thing with Oculus, right? That The key difference between Oculus and Vive is that Vive generally has games that couldn't be done without a VR headset, whereas Oculus has games that could easily be done without a VR headset. But simultaneously, Oculus is also a hell of a lot more, not easier to use, certainly not necessarily intuitive, but more practical for use by your average person, you know, that doesn't have a large space to play in. No doubt this will feel very thrilling, no doubt.
Oh, and he's been hit by Andre.
But it certainly doesn't have to be a VR game.
Charlie's got it. So the red team in possession. Oh no. Killed by Vicky.
Wait, so you don't actually see kind of what happens with the kills. They might want to have maybe worked on the spectator mode a little bit before they put this on stage.
And it's Olivier for the blue team.
Do you want me to do a little bit of better commentary for you there, mate? Alright, I've never played this game before, but here we go. And here we have a bird. It has scored a point, and that is a wonderful thing. The blue team won 2-0 in this best-of-3 flappery series right here for the World Grab, whatever the fuck that is, Cup. Incredible moves right here from Andre, a very experienced veteran here in the Flappy Bird series. He has played Flappy Bird for over 37 years. His mother thought it was a waste of time. His father disowned him decades ago, and yet here he is proving once again that his dedication to this art form was the right thing to do. He is achieving his dreams right here, staring into the sky with a large black box attached to his face. There are birds, there are dead birds, this is a bird massacre. We are seeing the D-Day of birds right here on the live stage.
The location is right there at the top of the Eiffel Tower. Don't ask me how the rabbit got up there.
That is a great question. As to how the rabbit got up there, it was a combination of contrivance and strange, anomalous physics. We don't know why. The game's in pre-alpha. You're just going to have to bear with us at this point. For some reason, these birds can fight and fire sonic weaponry. We don't know why. We don't know how it happened. But video games...
But Jason with the rabbit gets the final score. No! Vicky with the steal.
I just want to point out that somebody said Jason with the rabbit gets the final steal for the first and last time in human history. That is unlikely to ever happen again. You are witnessing history in the making here, right here on Ubisoft's E3 live stream. The future of sports entertainment is in front of you at this time. A technological marvel. Why are the trees dead? Nobody knows. They died from excitement. I couldn't blame them. I am having heart palpitations right at this very moment. This is France. This is a realistic interpretation of France, ladies and gentlemen. What a wonderful event we've just experienced.
Try it out yourselves. So we'd love to come and see you down there. Thanks very much. Have a great E3.
You missed the bird game.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You didn't miss much of the bird game.
You can be a bird, or...
You're a bird with sonic attacks and you're sort of fighting over a rabbit for some reason in virtual reality. Nobody knows why, nobody knows how, but it is a thing.
And I peed a little. Like, it wasn't even very good, and it was awesome. So this is going to be incredible. I really encourage you to check it out. Eagle Flight is going to to be on Oculus Rift and all the other...
Eagle Rift.
I'm sorry, was that English?
Quiet. She's a little confused. And honestly, after that, I don't blame her.
We've seen some flying raptors soaring through abandoned city streets. It's time to ascend a bit higher in elevation. So please welcome Ubisoft Red Storm's David Votipka.
That's one hell of a name. He was going for the arse there, you saw it, didn't you? He was thinking about it, and then he thought, she'll kill me, literally.
VR is about more than just technology. It's about creating games that just weren't possible before, and exploring new worlds with friends without ever having to leave your living room. It's about fully immersing yourself in these worlds.
Slight problem. Most people don't have an Oculus in their living room, or a Vive. I wonder if this is going to be a PSVR thing. We'll see.
Today, VR is all about opening up the final frontier.
Oh, this is the fucking Star Trek game! They're doing Star Trek VR. You get to be on the fucking bridge, but it's the JJ verse.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Crap.
But it's still fucking. I have dreamed of this game since like I was fucking 6 years old. So I am fully prepared to be disappointed.
2016.165. Starship USS Aegis is preparing for her maiden voyage. We've gathered some of the most decorated officers in the Federation to test her limits and to prove her place among Starfleet's finest ships. We're en route to a secret testing facility and are proceeding to our destination at maximum warp. This is amazing!
Wow! Absolutely astonishing.
When I walked in, I really wasn't sure what I was actually walking into.
They actually put a real visor on Geordie LaForge.
I would have wanted the Star Trek VR game to be. This is it! This is what we've been waiting for.
Holy crap, this is amazing. I mean, it really is breathtaking. That was an extraordinary experience to be fully encompassed in a world.
Whoa, not into that.
Fuck yes.
You're talking to each other and you're taking orders from the captain, and I mean, it's really cool.
So there's captain, helm, piloting the ship, tactical, and the engineer routing power and charging warp coils.
I'm feeling pressure already. I'm feeling nervous now.
All right, shields up.
Prepare warp. Take us out.
Yes, Captain.
Co-op gameplay is not new.
I do remember your acting being slightly better in Voyager.
But there's something different about being in a shared virtual environment.
Hearing who you're playing with, you can look over and see the person.
I am geeking the fuck out at this point. And
I can't snark about this.
No, I can't. It's not possible. I don't even care if it's JJ verse. Just give it to me immediately.
Shields up. I really did not want to lower the shields while we were under attack. I was very impressed by LeVar playing that game today. He really had the language.
Damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not the tactical officer.
It's like, yes, this makes you push the buttons.
I will say I nailed being the engineer.
No experience required, right?
Where's the button to reroute power from the deflector dish? That's a solution to all life's problems.
We're under attack. We have been waiting in anticipation.
Oh, it's a fucking D7!
The technology
Look at that!
Of virtual reality to catch up with where we imagine we should be and where we all want to go. Line us up for warp, please.
We have full power.
Ensign, as soon as you can get us the hell out of here, I'd be most grateful.
This was really incredible.
Hull is down to 20%. Come on, y'all.
Punch it.
As soon as you can. Here we go. Woohoo! It's your own Star Trek.
Hang on, you didn't say your hull was down to 20%. There's not enough exploding consoles for that to be true.
You want. And that's a pretty good deal.
Just... Can I have it now?
No, they're gonna make you wait.
Yes, it's coming out sooner than I anticipated.
But not now.
The first ever Star Trek VR game. As you can see, it's amazing, and you heard it here first, unless, of course, you heard it from the reporter who leaked it on Reddit. You know what you can suck a bag of. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the man
All right,
who
you
was
get
rocking
one.
the VR headset way before VR even existed, Mr. LeVar Burton.
Self-clap. Woo!
He deserves... He's fucking LeVar Burton. He can clap for whatever reason he wishes, damn it. He's amazing. He's a great person.
Welcome to the sofa I had installed here for precisely this occasion.
Thank you so much.
So it looks like Ubisoft got some of the old Trek band back together. I mean, like all of the old Trek bands and the new ones back together. So I have two questions for you. First of all, I know you have my email, so why no invite? But we'll talk about that after.
Can you explain to me why that Constitution class has an NX designation, indicating that it's an experimental vessel?
Use our imaginations so much, right?
You are such a nerd in this moment.
When you're operating the console, it's really not connected to anything. You knew that, right?
You're breaking all our hearts right now.
I know. But here's the thing. You don't have to imagine in this game. You are existing
in a completely rendered environment. You are on the bridge of a starship, and you're with your friends.
Oh.
It's pretty cool.
It's so amazing. So what was it like working with that particular crew? All of you having had real Enterprise experience. I know I can't let go of the fact that it's not real. Okay, yeah, I know.
But it feels real. I mean, it felt real to us when we were doing it.
Actually, looking at the nacelles, they don't look like Constitution class, so I guess it is a different class of vessel.
This special bond, just like you will with your friends when you play.
Unfortunately, it being the JJ verse, they have absolutely no creativity when it comes to ship designs.
Had to work together to
Anything they did would not be canon, so you know.
Well, the problem is that is now canon, and that upsets me a lot.
Drive the ship. You can be tactical or you can be the captain, but no one position is more important than any other. Everybody has to do their level best in order to get the job done, and that's at the core of what Star Trek has always been about for me.
Right, and what people love about cooperative gameplay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to assume this thing actually does have online multiplayer, because realistically speaking, most people are not going to own 4 fucking Oculus headsets, nor the 4 PCs required to run them.
That I was not going to shave my head for the privilege, and so they said fine. For me, it took a minute for me to get acclimated, because it was weird how I just sort of slipped into Geordi. It was like that skin, I just like put it right back on again. The lingo, the rhythm, the technobabble, it all, started clicking in, coming back. But I'm used to like responding to an order and not initiating the orders. So I had to engage. That's how we start this thing. So
right.
It took a moment, but I got the hang of it, and it's such a blast. I think that...
I will say that Star Trek fans are probably the only people intense and dedicated enough to be willing to buy that much tech. Bearing in mind, but look, you'll also need the Oculus Touch controllers to use this thing.
Well,
and you know that people are going to go in a heartbeat and buy that.
Yes.
They're that committed.
And then we can play with like
I will.
And Jonathan Frakes
and
and Michael
on,
Dorn.
What are you doing to my feelings now?
No. Won't that be cool, though?
Yes, it would be cool. Yeah. I don't want to burst into tears in the middle of this conference, so I'll just cry it out with you after. But thank you so much for talking about this with us today. And you are dismissed.
But you can't dismiss me unless you outrank me.
It's very clear that I don't outrank you by like many levels, so I will just say, make it so.
And it's also coming to Vive as well, which is good, because that actually has controllers ready for that. Also, everything that comes to both Oculus and Vive, good thing. And also put it on PlayStation VR. I just want a successful Star Trek game, for the love of God, please. Okay, even if it has to be JJ-verse, even if it has to be, I'll take that.
We've all imagined ourselves on that bridge, and now you get to do it. We're going to have Star Trek Bridge Crew at the Ubisoft booth, and of course when it comes out this fall on all major VR systems.
All right, so it looks like it's coming to PlayStation VR as well. All right, cool. I mean, it's a dream come true, that, isn't it, really? Maybe not for you, but for me, that's my ultimate nerd fantasy.
It came without warning.
Well, that's nice pre-rendered something. Oh, it's just For Honor by the looks of it, isn't it? I assume it's For Honor anyway. Either that or the Division has gone in a really weird direction lately.
No.
Doom came to us all.
Maybe this is not For Honor. This doesn't look like the same theme. No, it is. There you go. There's Japan. Yeah, it's For Honor. There's the Viking faction.
The desperate few struggled to survive.
I'm not gonna lie, I am looking forward to it. There are just not enough multiplayer melee combat games. There's something so satisfying about beating somebody in melee. Now, finally, we have decent enough internet connections and netcode to be able to do that.
I'm really bad at this type of game, though.
Oh, yeah. So. I mean, I'm awful at them as well, but I still love it.
Perhaps we had a chance for peace.
but that would
But
be
then we
boring.
decided, nah.
A puddle!
And then we're gonna put blood in the puddle, and then none of us will be able to drink
You
it.
ruined it! And it's really interesting that they seem to be building this around a 3-faction system and also emphasizing, like, 3-faction gameplay at the same time. As far as I can tell, anyway, it seems to be, like, 3 sides in any given match, which is a really cool idea. 1,000? I think they would have advanced a little bit further than that in that time.
The greatest warriors the world has ever known. The reason they fight, lost to the ages.
The puddle's under there somewhere.
Mm-hmm. It's undrinkable now.
You don't need a bloody good reason to throw Vikings, Knights, and Samurai in the same sodding game.
See? I knew it. I knew there was going to be blood in the water.
Searching for a sign of peace. I will show them. I am Apollyon. I bring war.
So it has a storyline of some sort, which is interesting because it's multiplayer focused.
So is there? I mean, there's not a single player for this.
That is a
right?
fucking beard. I don't know. I guess we're about to find out. It looks like there might be.
Oh, yes. Desperation drives us to war. It is trust that can end it. Apollyon and her Blackstone legions crave a world where trust is impossible.
Can this guy be my DM?
Wolves among us can roam free. I'm Jason Vandenberg. I'm the creative director on For Honor.
And you are fucking awesome. Please keep talking.
We gave you the chance to experience our new melee combat system, the art of battle. Now, we welcome you to the world of For Honor. In our campaign, be knighted. Join the Blackstone Legions.
I mean,
today.
Single-player campaign confirmation there.
He needs, like, to be an extra on Game of Thrones or something.
Sorry, an extra. He needs to be the main character.
Civil war and restore the prestige of the Empire. And as a Viking,
It's like, replace the Blackfish with this guy. He's amazing.
Spoilers, careful.
I'd like you to meet. I'd like you to meet our game director on For Honor, Roman Campos Oriola. Come on out, Roland.
No, we want to.
We want you.
We want you.
Can we replace Aisha Taylor with you, please? You are amazing.
You are the raider. In the aftermath of war, your people were starving. You brought them back. Now, your fleet sails for the lands of the samurai in seeking plunder and glory.
It might take a while to get there, though. Let's be honest. A bit far away.
Apollon's war had taken us to the edge of extinction.
Is he also the voice for the trailer?
Reminded us.
Apparently.
I
Sounds
think
pretty
so,
similar,
yeah.
Right? We would raid. But not Apollyon. Not yet. But they knew we were coming.
Thank God Ubisoft finally has a new IP, and it actually looks pretty cool.
Rise!
Should have maybe thought this one through. I want to know how this is going to work out. Like, how does the campaign gameplay actually work? We're seeing some really cool stuff here. It's like, hey, cool, it has a campaign. That's great, but
So what's like?
what does it
how
involve?
Does it, yeah.
Yeah.
To the gates!
I just hope it isn't Rise, Son of Rome again, basically.
I welcome you all! The gates of that fortress hadn't worked for a century.
There we go.
All we had to do was get through them.
So far, it is looking very Rise, Son of Rome. That is not a good thing, no. Right, yeah, so it uses it actually has... So how the multiplayer sort of works, supposedly, is that you've got... The players kind of play the hero characters, and then there's the grunts, so you can kind of beat up very easily. But you've got to use this sort of block system, which has 3 different zones to kind of counter and attack in the right area. So it's kind of simplified War of the Roses, chivalry kind of game. It seems like they've integrated that into a single-player campaign, which is fairly logical, actually, considering that there's already a PvE element to the multiplayer. So, I mean, I'm kind of digging it. It's a little bit Dynasty Warriors in places.
Yeah, I'm just so bad at these games that, like, I love the idea of the game. I do. I know how bad I am at these.
I love the stance switching that he's got going on there. That's really phenomenal. You know, they've made the melee combat to be actually in depth. You know, it's not a hacky slashy game. It requires some patience.
That war was the only way forward.
Get over here! Call the road launchers!
Who is the person yelling in the background?
The, Apollyon?
I thought she wasn't even involved in this. Wasn't that what they just said about 5 minutes ago? That
No, I just thought that she wouldn't engage until...
Well,
like,
aren't the Vikings supposed to be attacking Apollyon or whatever? I don't know. Because apparently she's ordering them around. So.
I don't know, maybe it's somebody else. I don't know.
I don't know. And it definitely runs the risk of having a lot of very kind of scripted sequences, I think, like this, you know. And again, like Rise as well, but it looks like it's got legs, you know, in terms of the combat system.
One warrior made it to the top. One.
That was a shitty siege, then. Okay, everyone's conveniently dead already, so...
Yeah. But only one made it to the top, so, eh.
Any sense of realism certainly thrown out the window at this point. Oh, yes! I'm sorry, but I love throwing people into spikes. It's just a Dark Messiah thing.
Hashtag just Dark Messiah
Just
things.
Dark Messiah things. Oh, that's a very Reinhardt move, isn't it? I'm in. I'm in, definitely.
The raider got us inside that fort.
Now we have them.
Oh, yes. Right, how is he still standing? He should have been cleft in twain.
How very British of you.
Indeed. There. Whoa, oh, okay. Cutscenes, right. Fair enough.
Savage!
I don't wonder how throwaway this campaign's going to be. It gives me that very sort of 4-hour Call of Duty impression from the trailer.
I mean, if it looks like, to be honest, that they probably should. I mean, given what we've heard about it so far, focus mostly on the multiplayer. So
yeah.
I
mean, I thought it was going to be multiplayer only. I wasn't aware there's going to be a campaign.
And that's what I figured as well. So it kind of feels like the single player's kind of cheap.
Sort of tacked on, you think?
Yeah, like as an afterthought, perhaps. I could be totally wrong. I could
it's
be
just kind
so
of giving
wrong.
me that impression, you know. It looks like the combat system and the core mechanics are really great, but I'm just like, would I play the campaign over the multiplayer if they both use the same combat system? I'm not sure I would. It's weird that we've got to the point where
the story was like really, really compelling, and I don't see that being really the case.
Not necessarily, no. What is interesting to me is that we've entered a sort of era over the past few years where tacked-on single-player is a thing.
Yeah.
You know, I think maybe Call of Duty might have started it, but it used to be tacked-on multiplayer, you know, all those years ago, a couple of console generations back.
Well, that's before being a gamer was cool and acceptable by all of your friends. And
Yeah,
now,
true. That might be why.
Now it's a lot different.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I never thought of that. But it looks reasonable. I'm more interested certainly in the multiplayer component, but, you know, throwing a campaign, people seem to really like the fact that, you know, if you're buying a game for $60, apparently it's got to have a campaign now.
If you are looking
for whatever reason, but
to
hey.
give that very special someone in your life, For Honor will be available on Valentine's Day.
It's kind of like the Deadpool on Valentine's Day thing, almost.
Yeah,
isn't it?
except Deadpool was funny.
Deadpool was a love story, though.
It was actually a rom-com.
I don't think For Honor could be seen as a love story.
Move out in the morning. And if you're in LA, come by the Ubisoft booth to play For Honor. Now, for those of you watching at home, head to forhonorgame.com to register for the very next alpha that will come very soon. All right? Now, here to talk about catapulting of a completely different kind, please welcome producer at Ubisoft Reflections, Pete Young.
Oh, it's the Grow Home robot. Is this the adorable indie section of the show?
It looks like it might be.
At Ubisoft, we get to tell all kinds of stories. Like how we can go from a massive AAA game like For Honor to a wobbly red robot in a small experimental game. Last year, we surprised you and ourselves with Grow Home, the story of our little robot bud learning how to experience the world around him. And today, I'm really excited to announce that bud is back.
It's weird that we call this the adorable indie section, because if I recall correctly, this was in-house, wasn't it? I guess we see a smaller game with more basic graphics, and for some reason we associate that with indie, which is really not true.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, hell, Valve games are indie, for God's sake. If you use the proper definition of indie, independent. But I like it when large studios and publishers let little in-house projects happen. I mean, fuck, that's why we got Hearthstone. You know? Plus, it probably stops people from going absolutely insane at development houses where they're making the same game over and over again.
If your development house is only making violence, violence, and violence...
Well, more specifically, the same kind of violence as well, you know?
Then,
violence can be used in so many different ways, but Ubisoft has yet to discover that.
Right. So when that is all that your studio is making for a while, it can be nice to be like, you know, hey, warm fuzzies? Can we make some warm fuzzies?
Yeah, it's called Grow Up. That's adorable.
In Grow Up, Bud will take his first stumbling steps without the watchful eye of Mom, and you'll get to stretch your acrobatic skills across an entire planetary playground. Not only can you forget your words...
Yeah, there you go. You're a human being, unlike everyone else that was on stage.
But you can throw down seeds and use plants to bounce, shoot, and catapult yourself to new heights, all the way to the moon. We want you to help Bud grow up this August on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Thank you, and enjoy E3.
Pete, your accent is so adorable, you could forget to say anything at all and just turn those vowels into words way up. There were like 18 A's in that word.
Get off the stage.
Now, at its core, Ubisoft is a creative company with an independent spirit, and support for innovative projects is a part of its DNA. But every once in a while, that DNA mutates slightly, and this happens.
here are the Ubisoft Creative Director Tag Team Champions.
What?
Dean Evans.
Oh my gosh. Sasha Banks. What?
Are they... They're doing a wrestling thing? Maybe.
Almost Mortal Kombat music. Almost, but not quite.
I'm intrigued. It can't be any more cringeworthy than Monday Night Raw.
Someone's been raiding Red Foo's wardrobe.
Ew.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Where's Chad? Not you. Out. So I'm sorry, I'm just kidding.
Hello, I'm Antti Ilvessuo, the creative director of Trials and also president of Finland.
Hey.
I'm willing to believe him.
With a beard like that,
I'm willing to believe him.
Hello, I'm Dean Evans, creative director of the original Blood Dragon and advocate of world peace.
What is happening here?
I don't know.
Trials and Blood Dragon made baby together.
Oh, what?
That's right, Auntie. And this horrible problem child is being delivered right now.
I'm scared. I'm so scared.
I'm intrigued.
Oh, 80s.
Rex Power Cult and Dr. Darling are back, this time with their two Cyber Commando kids, Roxanne and Slater. Play as the radliest mean teens this side of Mars, and defy gravity on your ultimate Dragon Slayer cyber bikes. Protect America with freedom flips that ride on the ridiculous roller coaster of righteousness.
But why? For what reason?
Use guns to shoot cyborgs, communist aliens, and giant ancient Dragon Balls! Space is the place, and the action is in your face! Ride through loops, hoops, and multiple dimensions! Into the future! Come fight Vietnam War 4! Together, forever, today! Trials of the Blood Dragon!
Oh my.
My
God. That's the team that doesn't get invited to the party.
They must have a lot of dirt on the CEO to be allowed to pull this shit.
Nothing like an 8-bit title to get.
Wait, did they just say out now?
Yeah, they
You can tell
did.
This game is a beast, and in case you didn't get the incredibly subtle messaging in that video, it is out now on PC, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. Well, actually, it's almost out now. We didn't want anybody sprinting off to chase blood dragons while we were still here on stage, so the game will be released as soon as this conference ends, about 30 minutes from now.
As if people needed another reason to wish the conference ended early.
FAO was back together, guys, so that was nice. All right.
I mean, okay, then. Sure, why not?
Guys, this is Ubisoft. And there is, yes it is, my friends, and there is no UBE3 experience without a deep dive into Assassin's Creed.
Oh, bloody hell.
And I know this.
And that's probably going to be
this
the
year
rest
is
of the
special because
conference, isn't it?
Assassin's Creed is about to go super multi-platform. Here to talk about the upcoming Assassin's Creed movie. Please join me in welcoming legendary producer
How is that multi-platform? That's quite the definition of it.
Super multi-platform. Didn't you hear her? Super multi-platform.
Well, might as well bookend a video game movie with something interesting.
Frank, thank you so much for coming
Sure.
today.
Great
Now,
to be
in
here.
case, I'm excited to have you. In case people don't know, you have worked on some of the hugest films and film franchises that have ever existed in our history. Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, the Bourne films, Jurassic World. So
And now he's thinking, how the fuck did I end up with this shit gig?
Well, I think
Ubisoft money.
I mean, it's kind of simple.
Lot of
I
it.
was looking for a good story.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. You know, we saw the trailer to this before we saw the Warcraft movie.
We did.
And the trailer looked pretty cool. what I was trying to figure out with the Assassin's Creed movie is how do you build tension when you're supposed to
die
when
in
you're
the
supposed,
Animus.
you know, yeah, if the Animus is the same as it is in the video games, you can't die in the Animus. So how exactly are you building tension in any way, unless you're going with the whole Desmond outside of the Animus thing, which is the most boring part of the whole game.
I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't know how it's going to work.
So we have a new story. We have a new hero, dynamic supporting players and characters. So we kind of mixed a little bit of the old up and the familiar with a new element.
And this is such a storied franchise. There is so much to draw from. I think everybody is super stoked to see that Michael Fassbender is playing in the lead role. Yes. Yeah, it's incredible.
Anything Michael Fassbender, we are thrilled to see.
Of course.
What can you tell us
That's
about
fair.
what went into making this film?
Well, it's really kind of a massive production. We shot in 3-4 different countries. Obviously, there's an historical aspect to the story where we go back.
So according to some people, the majority of the story is going to be outside of the Animus.
Oh.
I mean,
How is it a video game movie then? I don't.
Well, I mean, a lot of the
guess.
video game was as well, although nowhere near as much, obviously.
Yeah.
It's budget, isn't it? It's
I
like,
think it is. It must be.
that's not what I was looking for from an Assassin's Creed movie, though.
Who understands the best elements of the game and how to translate them into the movie. Then we assembled a team of really incredibly talented people to surround him with and create the world and using these real locations and a team of stunt experts to take us into the parkour and the elements that you're going to see in the film.
Yeah, I mean, that's such an integral part of this world is the physical aspect of this game and
right.
trying
And
to replicate that in the real world.
Is there something, you know, there's something very fillatory about showing those kind of tweets? I knew we were going to get movie stuff. That's probably a bad thing. Butterfly Samurai with one T.
Well, I think there's a lot to look forward to. But really, it's the multi-layered mythology that we have that comes from the game and the kind of putting you into the story. We have a real story, and it has an arc that goes all the way to the end. And you're
wow.
I call that's what.
That's a story, right? That's the definition
beginning,
of a story.
a middle, and an end.
Impressive. Truly impressive.
And there's an arc that carries throughout.
Well, I've been convinced to see it.
That our character has.
That's incredible. I mean, I think people already imagine themselves in this role.
How would it be incredible exactly? Isn't that how?
Get that Steadicam out of the way.
Bloody hell are
What
you
are
doing,
you
mate?
doing?
Where's he go? He's fucking.
What?
He's a magician.
Where did he
He's
go?
a wizard.
What magical things can you reveal to us about them? Nothing. Come on.
I can't tell you anything, which is why. What's the point in you even being here?
A little bit more than anybody here has seen already. So we're going to have an exclusive video that gives you a sneak peek behind the curtain and shows you everything that went into making this film, as well as never seen before footage from the movie. So we're going to roll that video very soon, as soon as you give the word, right?
As soon as I throw to it.
Please give the word. I've learned nothing over the past few minutes about this.
December 21st. So play a lot of Assassin's Creed before then, so it's all inside of you when you go to see the movie. And now, for your viewing, enjoyment.
No. On all levels, no. This is the cool bit, but apparently 65% of the movie is not going to be that.
The Assassins are fighting for free will, and their main rivals are Templars. The Templars are trying to enhance humankind through science.
Sounds pretty good to me.
Has a really deep concept and idea, which is going back into time and having some sort of relationship with the ancestor that's come before you. The overall journey of the film is through the eyes of our protagonist, that Michael Fassbender's playing.
What do you want from me?
Your past.
He starts to learn that he comes from a lineage of assassins.
he realizes the true history of himself and he creates a kind of revolution.
We work in the dark to serve the light. We are assassins.
The way they've represented the Animus is so strange in this movie. Like, the fact that it moves around like that.
Yeah.
He's one of the greatest actors of his generation, and there's many other strong characters in the film.
For a video game movie, it doesn't have a bad cast. That's all I'm gonna
that's
say.
a solid cast. Yeah, no doubt about that.
Action sequences are massive.
I just want it to be an unbelievable ride.
We have to show him who he really is.
So that is a beautiful looking sequence, there's no doubt. You still break your bloody spine doing that. Very irresponsible, really.
I feel exactly the same way. I think we've all imagined ourselves in that role over the years we've played the game, but I can't think of a better choice than Fassbender. He's super hot. Really looking forward to the assassin getting naked. All right.
In this PG-13 movie, I doubt that somehow.
For our next game.
It's Watch Dogs, all right.
Only be protected if democracy thrives. The corporate interests are rigging the elections.
Please hype this one up as much as the last one, and then also make the driving suck.
Let's not hype this one up anywhere near as much.
I was so disappointed.
It was probably one of the biggest disappointments of all time outside of Spore.
Into voting for their puppet, Congressman Mark Thrust. Invite wields the single most powerful population control tool ever created. Defend democracy. Help us tear down Invite. Lend us your processing power by downloading our app, and together, we will expose Congressman Thrust. Join us. We are DedSec.
Wow.
I mean, it's a cool presentation. A little bit more color in this one. But it also looks like Ubisoft the game again. It's got an open world.
Hello,
it's
everyone.
got side quests.
And welcome into the San Francisco Bay Area, the birthplace of the tech revolution and Watch Dogs 2's new playground. This time, you will join DedSec, a hacker group rebelling against an establishment that uses technology to take away our freedom. You are Marcus Holloway, a brilliant young hacker on a mission to take back control from this establishment. Now, we all live in a hyper-connected world. Everything we use and every one of us is connected through technology. From the perspective of a hacker, this world is filled with opportunities. So in Watch Dogs 2, everything around you can be hacked in creative ways.
That's what you said about the last one.
Yep.
You can also profile, manipulate, and hack everyone.
This is
And you know
Asshole Simulator 2016 by the looks of it.
Other DedSec hackers. And now, getting into co-op has never been simpler.
Oh, hi.
But for now, let's deal with Invite, a social media giant that's just been exposed by DedSec.
Our numbers are going through the roof, but we just promised to move the lid open on Invite.
This isn't really convincing me that it's going to be any better
Any
than the last
different.
one.
Yeah, it doesn't seem any different, really.
Outside of your role, bear in mind, I kind of remember that. What was the name of the protagonist in the first one? Aiden? Something
Yeah.
Aiden? He was probably the most boring and unlikable protagonist in a game I've ever seen.
Okay, people, this is strictly by the book. Don't paint outside the lines and stay frosty.
Fuck you. Just get in there and find some rusty nails to crucify Thrust to the social media press.
On my way.
You know, DedSec's channel has really shitty VoIP.
The Bay Area is filled with
I bet they use Ventrilo.
choose to explore. But for now, let's just
Power to the oh my god, you are Reddit the video game.
to find evidence that Invite might have helped him rig the election.
I like how they cut the driving.
Of course
Probably
they did.
for the best,
I wonder
considering
why.
the last game.
Yo, Prince. Captain Dipshit lives over there.
Yo, check it out. You can see the whole city from here.
Really?
I've been told that's at the top of the building.
Turns out getting on tall buildings allows you to do that. Who knew?
You don't even feel it. It's just numb.
It's fucked up. I know it's gonna be a hell of a fight turning them back into people.
Fucking A, man.
Has anyone told you you look really stupid?
And I'm on our exit strategy.
I can't imagine why people aren't convinced by your political rhetoric when you dress like that.
Hey, is that the congressman?
No, I do believe that is a helicopter.
Fuck you.
Marcus, the building just went off the grid. We can't get in or see inside.
They're up to something. I'll see what.
This is Year of the Drone for Ubisoft, isn't it?
Yeah, it
Every
is.
game must have it. I heard there's even one in Just Dance. Playable dancing drone. Technology. Wonderful thing.
They got armed help in there. Something's definitely up.
They have 40 cakes. I asked you to get me 40 cakes, you wouldn't do it.
I would do it, but you didn't tell
He's
me
got
what
it.
flavor.
Fine, keep. They're scrubbing the evidence.
Get us access, Marcus, before it all gets wiped.
I'll get you inside the system. Once I
Don't you think maybe it's a bad idea to have the illegal deletion of evidence and files on a giant fucking screen that anybody could very easily see through the window?
Super realistic. Be quiet, you.
I mean, is everybody in the office in on this? Like,
Wiping the Congressman's cloud.
That's done, but there's a team at Invite scrubbing the backups, too.
They're good at this.
They're the best computer forensics team we have. You pay top dollar, you get
the
a
Geek Squad.
That's what I want to hear.
This looks exactly the same as the last one.
Yeah, it does.
It really does.
Maybe it's actually like going to be fixed this time, though.
What do you want to be better about it? Outside of the driving, obviously.
Like, it's the whole idea was like, here you can hack anything, you can do anything. No, you can only do the things to the stuff that you want us to. You know, it's the illusion of the freedom.
Like
you
it
know?
really just felt to me like GTA with a few wizard powers.
I felt like I was guided a lot.
Yeah. The whole idea of freedom and being able to create real chaos was completely just not true in Watch Dogs.
I guess
you know?
I just expected too much because the hype train was so.
Well, it's their fault that you expected that because they showed you a bunch of stuff you couldn't do.
And they
in
were
the
they were
E3
like
presentation.
in the trailer for the last one, they were like, oh yeah, this is totally filmed in game. You know, all of this is done in game, and it looks so amazing. And it did. It looked amazing. But it's just, I guess the missions are really just so scripted. It's like,
Yeah.
we don't really have the freedom to
No,
do
you
all
don't.
these things. We need to do them exactly the way you want us to do them. Otherwise, things won't behave the way that they're supposed to.
Yeah, I mean, the game had a bunch of instant failure states and things like that, you know, to make sure you could only really do things in one way. And a lot of it turned into just shooting people. Like, despite being a hacker, you're apparently also a weapons expert. You know what would be really good? And I doubt they'll do this in this game, although right now it does look like they're doing that because it doesn't look like he's armed or whatever. That if you were actually just a hacker, you weren't an elite spec ops guy that can take down 100 guys. Because what's the point in having cool hacking powers
if you don't use them?
If you don't use them, because you've just got a silenced gun, which is just, if not more, effective. Because at that point, it just becomes GDA.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, he's got gun. Oh no, he's using electroshock devices. I wonder if it really is like a lot of non-lethal stuff and everything like that, and actually being more hacker focused, because that would make the game a hell of a lot more interesting.
I mean, I played like a lot of Hitman, you know, and it's just like, you know, I like games to be a little bit more like that, where I don't have to always be lethal, I guess. I mean, in some cases
you can take other options.
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
be
yeah.
creative. There's room for that. You know, as soon as you give somebody a gun and you make somebody good at it, then you basically make all other choices obsolete. That's the problem with a lot of Ubisoft games. But so far, it looks like he's using devices and non-lethal stuff and stealth. Although, I have to say, I've not seen any interesting hacking stuff yet at all.
That's kind of cool.
Well, we had to reuse the model from Rainbow Six Siege somewhere, right?
Ha.
I mean, you were able to do that before. That was something you could do in the previous game. It's just there was basically no point in doing it because you could just shoot somebody and that was just as effective. Nobody noticed that? It's on 16 different screens? No? Alright. You would have thought if you were going to do a kind of hacking thing that you wouldn't put it on every single screen. You'd be a little bit more, I don't know, covert than that. Let me guess, he's a hand-to-hand expert. That's a yo-yo, I think. I think he just hit somebody with a yo-yo. And he's got a submachine gun. Of course he does. He's a weapons expert. He's a hand-to-hand expert, a stealth expert, an elite hacker. He's literally perfect in every way.
A jack of all trades.
And master of all of them. Why did they have to do the guns? Like, it's what I said earlier. You know, you were talking about Ubisoft when it comes to violence. Like, violence can be used in so many different, interesting ways, and yet Ubisoft is utterly incapable of doing that, it seems. You know, what is even the point of the non-lethal capabilities here? You've got a taser here, right? What's the point? If I can just shoot someone in the head, what's the benefit to using non-lethal methods? Other than some kind of artificial karma system or something. Of course he can do parkour as well. Naturally. I mean, he's a fucking Jedi.
And a daredevil and not afraid of heights and sure.
Good at literally everything. Apparently Ubisoft never bothered to watch The Incredibles. If everybody's special, nobody is. You know, and if you're good at everything, then everything becomes mundane.
We're just getting started.
I don't know why we're applauding that. That's just another Ubisoft open world game. It doesn't look any more engaging than the first one.
Watch Dogs 2 comes out on November 15th, 2016 on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. It's so cool to see my hometown in that game. And much like you, whenever I'm infiltrating a corrupt politician's penthouse, I also listen to Eric B. and Rakim. And now, I'd like to welcome Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot to tell you a little bit more about Watch Dogs.
Well, hopefully it's going to tell us something a bit more interesting than what we just saw, because if you asked me, let's say, to distinguish between those, and you didn't show me the character's face, asked me to distinguish between the two games, I couldn't do it.
Hello everyone, thank you for being with us today. So as you may remember, when we launched the first time Watch Dogs with the PS4, it was a major success, and that was really thanks to Sony.
A big hype trailer.
It was 2 years of hype and dishonest footage is what it was.
I tell you that we are going to continue with Sony and we are going to do Watch Dogs 2 with them. So I would like to ask Tim from Sony to come with us and tell you more about it.
And it was a major success on console. It didn't do that well on PC. I mean, it did well enough, but when you put that much marketing and that much hype behind a game, of course, the question is, how well does the second one do after people have already played and been disappointed by the first?
Thanks, Eve. That's right. We've been really impressed by Watch Dogs ever since Ubisoft first showed the game right here back in 2012. I think you were there that night. Sony and Ubisoft partnered on that game in the early days of the PlayStation 4. And then our partnership went even further. A while back, Sony Pictures Entertainment signed up with Ubisoft Motion Pictures to produce a Watch Dogs feature film with New Regency Productions.
What?
Films.
Amazing Assassin's Creed film. We think Watch Dogs is set to be the next video game-based blockbuster movie.
No.
It's an incredibly filmic game. Yeah, it looks so cool.
Well, I mean, it would make the hacking more interesting than the game is capable of. There's no doubt about that.
As you know, Jim, it's never too early to think about who your lead actor is going to be. So I'm looking at the character and I'm thinking Michael B. Jordan or a Taye Diggs or an Aisha Tyler who is tall and black and slightly masculine. That's what I'm thinking, you know, yeah? We can talk about it backstage.
I'll be waiting.
Now, I understand you also brought something very special to share with our PlayStation players out there, right?
That's right. PlayStation owners will have access to all Watch Dogs 2 DLCs 30 days before they're released on any other platform.
Wow, that's incredible.
Oh, what?
Why are you applauding that? How is that in any way a good thing? So, hey, everyone else is screwed.
We slept with them more than the other platform
I will
owners
never
did.
understand an audience not booing every announcement of that. Like, and that's what kind of disgusts me about E3 the most, is when audiences don't call them on their bullshit. I mean, I know most of the people are paid to be there, but come on.
Hack the planet!
It's a P6 chip. Triple the speed of a Pentium.
Risk is good.
Risk architecture is going to change everything. We can pretty much quote that entire movie at this point. I'm sorry, was he uploading a GIF? Did that just say desync_something.gif? What's the point of that? I'm not going to ask how you can magically hack every car, including the ones that have no computers in them whatsoever, but okay. Sure, why not? You're a wizard, basically.
It's nice to see that they actually decided to go with, you know, a non-white protagonist, though.
I mean, yeah, of course, why not?
No, I'm just saying
that's cool. It's a shame they put him in such a boring fucking game.
I know. It's just I wish that more games would do that.
You know what other game had a black protagonist that was kind of like this? GTA 5. That was also a good game.
Yes. But, you know, not so much just the, you know, hey, we're only car thieves and all this stuff running
what do you mean we're only car thieves? The guy's a literal criminal.
He's a hacker, though. It's different.
That's criminal!
No. I'm just saying, like, to be a hacker, you need to be relatively a little bit more intelligent, let's just say, than someone who uses brute force for everything.
Except he's also a firearms expert and a parkour expert and a driving expert.
It is nice that they're, like, saying, oh, hey, an intelligent person can be a protagonist, and guess what? He can also be black. It's fine.
Sure, why not? It's just a shame, again, that he's captaining such a boring-looking game.
Stranglehold on your city, but it is radio-controlled and so quite useful for annoying your coworkers and ending unwanted relationships. All right, folks. We have one more game to show you today, and we all know that Yves likes to be the one to announce the next big thing, so I'll let him take it away. Ladies and gentlemen, Yves Guillemot.
But wait, there's more.
Thank you. So I'm excited to tell you about our new IP from our studio in the French Alps. The studio has a lot of multiplayer expertise. You know, those guys have done Splinter Cell multiplayer. They have done also Assassin's Creed multiplayer, and they worked on The Division on some part of the game. So for the first time, we are combining the thrill of action sports with a fully explorable open world.
It's another bloody open world game.
To your friends and to share your adventures with the community. It's a completely new genre, and I am sure you will love it. Thank you.
We'll see if this is really a new genre.
It's that moment where I've committed to leaving, but I haven't left the Earth yet. Nothing you can do but charge forward.
What I love the most in the mountains is that I can do anything I want.
Extreme spots.
It's pure freedom.
Which, again, cool.
You know, there's always a bit of
Why exactly you need to make it an open world? That's a good question. Oh, it's Ubisoft. Never mind.
Nothing else matters up here. All the chaos is just gone. No one else around.
The moment my feet leave the Earth, everything else disappears.
I wonder if it's got a crafting system.
It's what I live for.
Obvious sponsorship is obvious. More obvious sponsorship is obvious. Good lord, this is laden with product placement, isn't it?
The mountain is your canvas, you know? You can paint your own picture. That's what the beauty of it is.
The most important thing for me is to try something that never been done before.
Am I scared? Sure. But fear can be a tool.
I can also be a tool.
It can keep
Very
you
good at that.
beyond what you think your limits are.
Prepared for the eventual graphical downgrade? Please say that this is Ski Free 2, Ski Harder. Oh, sure looks like a sports game. Alright.
Hello everyone, I'm Studio Manager Rebecca Coutaz.
And I'm Creative Director Igor Manceau.
We are from Ubisoft Annecy, at the base of the Alps, just a few miles from the tallest...
I'd sort of like to know how this is a new genre when things like SSX exist. You know, just adding an open world to it doesn't make it a new genre.
...that we are here to show you today.
Up in these mountains, sport isn't always about winning. Sometimes it's just about doing awesome things with your friends and living life to the fullest.
And sometimes it's just about capturing those memorable moments and sharing them with your friends. Let's show some gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think of. The first thing I think of when I think of sports is that. Yeah, totally.
Was good?
Please tell me they didn't do the voice actor co-op thing again for this.
Welcome to the world of Steep, a massive open world partially set in the Alps, at the intersection of Italy, Austria, Switzerland, and France. We're currently flying over Aiguille du Mont Blanc, and in case you're wondering, aiguille means needles. First thing we'll do is land on a small rock over there. And
This is not us doing this.
Walking up to that's another player from the community. From here, we can now enjoy the view and observe the world around us. That big guy in front of you is the Mont Blanc, the biggest summit in the region. And in the distance, you can see the Matterhorn, one of the wildest spots in the game. And on the right, you've got the Aravis Range, the region we come from, where Ubisoft Annecy stands. In Steep, we developed a really cool observation tool. We call it Mountain View. Mountain View allows you to zoom out from your position, observe the world, and navigate into the environment. Our mountain range will be populated by drop zones. Drop zones are entry points for you to drop in the
saying
world
nothing.
when you're ready. Now, let's get back to our initial position. Besides drop zones, the game will offer a wide range of challenges for you to test your skills. The one in front of us is a wingsuit activity. And as the other player drops in, we'll follow him and triggers a challenge. This is a proximity flying race challenge.
So it's sort of a open world, social-ish action sports game.
Mm-hmm. Challenge your friends to do wild stuff, I guess.
That's a thing that would be pretty cool on VR.
It would be really I was just going to say that. It would be really cool on VR, but I think it would make a lot of people really sick.
It's entirely possible, yes. I mean, we have had quite a lot of extreme sports games before. The effort to mash them all together into one experience is interesting. I don't think that's a new genre. I think he was kind of talking out of his arse there.
Your friend just died.
You're dead!
So
You're seriously dead.
Where's the fun in this game again? I'm sorry.
Well, the next bit is a memorial service activity that you have to do.
I guess. To be preceded by, Just Dance.
But we'd like to introduce you to another region.
Too soon.
So let's switch to Mountain View and head over to Aravis. The purpose of this next sequence is to show you what it's like to play online with your friends or with other players from the community.
I imagine it's relatively similar to what you just did, right? Some seriously poor tree popping going on here. Terrible. 0 out of 10. So apparently to play online with your friends is to never talk to them.
As you ride, you will keep meeting other players from the community, having fun in the mountain. Let's switch our point of view to follow those riders. As you noticed, the game will support GoPro views.
Another person just died.
Thousands of casualties.
Hold on, we really need to pause here. Too much at the same time. Now I'd like to show you something special. If we go back to Mountain View, take a look at that trail. Every line you do in the world creates a trail. And that trail is really cool. It not only allows you to check what you've done on your ride, so you can analyze your line, but it also allows you to launch a replay of what you've seen and what you've done.
Let you watch your friend's death over and over.
So this is a bit extreme sports narcissism simulator, from
Pretty
what I
much.
can tell. It's like, watch me show off, holy crap, look at the size of my penis.
Yeah.
Esports game. Well, extreme sports. Yeah.
Yeah.
And follow any players you've met.
Maybe not that one.
Push that replay of your performances.
He's dead. That's the neck. He's
all
gone.
Social networks, so you can share it with the world.
Yeah.
Social networking.
Not only can you share
okay.
videos,
It is
you
literally
you
like
liked that jump over the cliff.
Tony Hawk
You know
Extreme
it's a tricky
Skate,
one.
like share all of these
Share
tricks,
everything
share
for
all
the
these
love
moments.
of God. Watch me do everything.
Watch me do everything.
We can't play, and I realize how hypocritical this is. We can't play video games anymore without people watching every bloody thing we do, or without showing off and sharing everything that we do. It's not a trend I'm particularly fond of. He's dead. I thought we got rid of Doink the Clown. Evidently not. Gotta get some more Red Bull product endorsement in there.
More ankles being broken, more necks being broken.
Wonder how much they paid for that. Yep, you're dead too. Everybody's dead. Everybody's dead, Dave.
Ubisoft. Violence.
At
any cost.
I just really want to... Well, one, they've managed to incorporate intense violence into a sports game. It's impressive, I gotta admit. Secondly, what is the purpose of the multiplayer in this exactly? There seems to be zero interaction with anybody. So what's the point?
I guess you can race against the other person to get to an objective faster.
I mean, at that point, you could just raise ghosts, couldn't you? Like, if there's no interaction between the players, there's no point in it really being permanently online like that.
I don't know. Are we just shitting on their fun project?
I just think, you know, obviously this game isn't aimed at us, you know, as sort of core gamers. That we're clearly not the demographic for this.
I climb mountains. I don't extreme down them.
No. Yeah, I think, you know, we're definitely just not the demographic for it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. We're inviting you all onto the mountain as soon as tomorrow. Steep will be fully playable on the show floor. If you're watching from home, please visit steepgame.com to register for a chance to participate in Steep beta phases. This game ships this December. Thank you very much.
All right, guys. We got a lot done today, and we are barreling towards the finish line. But before we go, we want to bring Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot and all of the teams behind the games that we had on stage during our show back out here one more time. Come on out, everybody. This is going to be like the end of Saturday Night Live, only all the game devs have not been drinking for hours.
I was about to say only less funny, but it is Saturday Night Live, so maybe that's not true.
Gonna do with the awesome voice and beard stay.
I mean, if you just presented the entire thing, I would have been much more impressed.
A fantastic game. And I think it's just the beginning, because as you know, this game will be live for a long time. So those guys are going to give you a lot more. So I would like to thank you, all Ubisoft teams, and Aisha, for their creativity and all the passion they have. I would like also to thank you, all the gamers. We are only here because of you. We really love you guys, because you always push us for excellence. As Aisha said, this year, Ubisoft celebrates our 30 years birthday. That means 30 years in the best industry in the world. I love video games because the real innovation and magic happens when our teams and players are free to create, free to innovate, free to express themselves, free to take risks and have fun. That's what got us here today, and that is what will drive us for another 30 years and beyond. Because when you are free, there is no failure. There is only forward.
Right. Okay, then.
And this is people running from the Ubisoft conference
As fast as possible.
Since they were finally unchained from their chairs.
They were asked to play Far Cry Primal and they ran screaming from the room. Can we name a game today that didn't have some sort of parkour element in it?
Not from Ubisoft.
No, actually. They certainly make a lot of the same games, so let me put it that way. There was definitely some highlights, though. I mean, South Park looks great. For Honor looks really cool. Obviously, the sequel to Grow Home looks pretty awesome as well. That Trials game looks...
Shit, we got the wrong game.
Don't tease us like that. Looks interesting. It was a very mixed bag, though. An extremely cringy show in many ways. The kind of thing that I would expect from E3. Not a big surprise there.
Then the stream goes to hell.
Indeed, it's being hacked by DedSec. Very self-indulgent on Ubisoft's part, certainly. Are we quite finished? 'Cause isn't the Sony conference right now?
You were amazing today.
Oh, is it, it's later, right?
Special conference. Stick around for our post show where we're going to answer your burning questions about Ubisoft and our conference today. Everybody, you've been so awesome.
It's at 9 p.m. Cool. Thank God we get a 3-hour break. We have been on since, well, 12 or something along those lines.
Meet us on the floor and do that shit.
Watch it, precisely. Would you like us to do? I need more specific instructions if we're going to be doing that shit. Are you aware of the kind of shit that she would like us to do?
No.
No, you weren't told?
I was I was not informed.
I mean, I was expecting to get some sort of instruction, a memo, perhaps. Didn't really get one.
Evite, something.
Yeah, something like that. Facebook group. What is a group? I just don't know. I'm all corporated out, actually, after that, I have to admit.
They're fighting over the couch. They're fighting over the couch.
I think letting Aisha sit down would be fair, considering she's wearing those giant-ass boots.
In the words of the infamous DJ Khaled.
No, infamous DJ Khaled, thank you very much. Right, okay, right. Well, that was lengthy.
Yes.
It showed some video games were involved, no doubt about that.
Yes.
Very mixed bag. Yep.
Highlight South Park.
South Park, definitely. Yep. For Honor also looks pretty great.
Not my kind of game, but I can appreciate sort of what they're trying to do with it.
Yes,
I really
absolutely.
don't know about the single player. Was it an afterthought? Is it actually
looks a bit
fleshed
tacked
out?
on.
Yeah. I don't know how much story is actually going to be there. It doesn't seem like much from the surface of what we've seen.
It doesn't. It looks sort of very much an afterthought. You know, that game has been presented for the longest time as a multiplayer game, so it's cool to include a single-player campaign, but I always feel like I would rather have all the time committed to a great multiplayer experience instead of having a tacked-on single-player that takes up development time and resources just to tick a box, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm not so interested in the single-player component of it. I'm hoping it's good, obviously. I'm going to say that I think Wildlands is basically the end of what we knew as Ghost Recon. You know, it's not even recognizable.
I like
game.
I like what we saw of it, but it isn't Ghost Recon. Like it's not. But I don't hate it.
No, I think it will be a reasonable game. I'm just thinking at this point, it's nothing like what we remember. It's weird because, again, we see this amalgamation of all of these games from Ubisoft where they're becoming so similar to each other in many ways. Now, really, is there a huge difference between something like Ghost Recon and Watch Dogs?
No,
You know?
not
Both
really.
open world games, both with that co-op element, both, hey, grab a car, do this, do some crazy stuff. You can approach the objective any way you want. Now, outside of theme, they're in many ways
Reskins of each other.
I mean, I don't like the term reskin.
I know you hate that.
I hate that term. But I think they use the same philosophy. You know? I think that's maybe the core DNA and the core philosophy of those games.
They
are the
have an
same.
inherent fear of restricting their players.
But in doing that, they restrict them to playing the same game with a different hat every time. Which is, I guess, the inherent irony of that. Obviously, Star Trek VR looks awesome.
That looked cool.
I'm very much looking forward to seeing what they can do with that. I'm hoping it's a great experience.
I'm worried about like how limited it could possibly be.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Again, like what you brought up earlier about the multiplayer online, like, you know, if that is not what their idea is, if their idea is literally, hey, you must have 3 Oculus
No,
sets.
I refuse to believe they would be that stupid. The game's clearly going to have online play.
The thing is that if they did require that, you would get it. You would do it. You would do it just for that game.
Possibly.
I know you would.
Yeah, it's getting to the point where, you know, Ubisoft in particular has been milking the desire of the average audience to play a lot of open world games. Because I've said this before. It reminds me when I did that video about Mad Max. I said, you know, why is there such a disconnect between critics and gamers when it comes to open world games? That people view open world games as having a lot of value because there's like, oh, there's so much to do.
Right.
But in my opinion, the quality level of what you can do in those games is so low and so repetitive that I don't view it that way. I would prefer a quality experience, and I often don't get that with an Ubisoft open world game.
Like, I understand, like, if it were open world survival, it's kind of different because you can populate resources, you can populate mobs everywhere, things that don't really mean a whole lot. But when it comes to story and stuff like that, you know, I don't know, specific missions, I just don't know if open world is actually required.
I just don't think open world in many ways is good. I think open world is an excuse to create a world that is populated by fairly mundane actions, but give you that illusion of freedom. I mean, do you really have freedom in a game like Watch Dogs? You know, really, you're so limited in what you can actually do in a game like that. I don't think you do. I really don't. And I think that the open world aspect of it is a smokescreen for all of that. And nobody, at Ubisoft in particular, doesn't want us to see what's behind the curtain.
Right.
Which is very little. You know, it's a small man in a small hat, really, is what's behind the curtain there. I'm getting...
What is this music?
It's a Tecmo Bowl Touchdown Hoedown from OC Remix.
Oh my.
Would you like me to change it?
It's very distracting.
Is it? Okay, let's see what else we can find. Here you go. Here's some Final Fantasy for you. Bad Octopus. There we go. The
so
Octopus
much
theme.
better. So much better.
I mean, I've had a problem with the way that Ubisoft develops games really for years in the way that they've gone all in on the same... It's not just open world, it's the same kind of open world. All the time. The same principles, the same mechanics, just repurposed for a different theme. I'm getting very tired of it. But evidently, everybody else is not. You know, they're still selling very well.
I like my open world games, but not... The problem is we get too many games to play.
Yes.
And they all come out in the same kind of opening window.
Oh god, November's going to be a nightmare.
And it's just like, how
again.
many open world games can we possibly play in November? I mean, because they're so big, they're so massive, and that's the idea is, oh, we have all the scale to offer you. And it's just like, no, you just make the game so long that I have to spend... 60 hours playing you, and before I move on to the next thing that
and
also
how many
came
of
out in
those
November?
hours were like genuinely high quality hours?
Right, and
for
how
you?
many were you just poking around, seeing what you could do within the limitations that they actually
Which
had
are,
in place?
You know, fairly intense
Again,
usually.
you know, illusion of choice.
Yeah, and honestly, you know, it's driving around doing side quests and being a completionist for the sake of being a completionist.
Right,
a lot
and
of the
I
time.
am a completionist.
And you know what? That's how they get you.
Yeah,
They
I
say
know.
there's so much in these games, you know, and you say you got 60 hours. A lot of people view that as great value for a $60 game. 60 hours of gameplay, that's great.
Not always,
but
no.
not if the gameplay was not high quality. Not if a lot of that time was wasted doing pointless, mundane, repetitive tasks.
Right.
A lot of that this year from Ubisoft. A lot of that from Ubisoft last year. You know, occasional flashes of interesting stuff, inspiration, but a lot of the same from them.
What did you make of Trials Blood Dragon?
I mean, it's cool that they're doing a really silly, wacky thing, including combat in a Trials game is thoroughly bizarre.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued, but simultaneously, there's also been like 4 or 5, actually more than that, Trials games already. You know,
It is odd.
It is, but when Ubisoft gets hold of a title, a new IP, they spend years just running it into the ground, beating every last ounce out of that dead horse, and Trials is starting to feel like that to me. Even with the wacky, crazy crossover they've got going on right here,
yeah,
it still feels that way. And it's so sad that it's feeling that way to me, that it's starting to feel so tired. I don't want to feel that way.
That is exactly what I was going to say, actually, is tired. Tired is the word that, like, just kind of stuck with me after watching that. It's like, this is too try-hard, and...
It did seem like they were trying to be funny with that one.
Right,
A
like,
bit too much.
really over the top, and...
Yeah.
I don't know, for some people it might have paid off. For some people they might actually be interested in something that they otherwise would not have initially thought to check out, but... You know, hey, it's out now, right? Because it's after the conference.
It is. Apparently, it's out now for like 12 quid or $15 or something like that.
Right. So
the thing is, like, I think we sit in a position that is not representative of the majority of people because these games do sell millions of copies every single time. They're obviously appealing to the average gamer. It's just, for someone that has played so many of these, you see the repetition, you see the cloning. It's like watching an old cartoon and seeing the repeated backgrounds as they travel through, you know? You see behind that curtain and you're sick of it. You want new experiences, you want interesting experiences, and if you want that, Ubisoft is generally not the company to go to. So I suppose that's kind of that. It wasn't as boring as the EA conference, but it simultaneously...
A lot of talking.
It was self-indulgent in many ways. It was wordy. It was cringe-worthy in so many different ways. Which, to be fair, Ubisoft has got very good at making cringe-worthy conferences. I almost think they do it on purpose these days. They certainly get people talking about them. No doubt about that.
Oh, yeah.
Really knows how to make an awkward situation hilarious. I think she creates a lot of those awkward situations, honestly, but... Yeah. Isn't it great?
This music.
It's wonderful. It's a wonderful remix. Yes. I think that the conclusion would be to say That sure was Ubisoft, all right.
Yes, it was.
That was Ubisoft. Well, folks, thank you very much for sticking in through that with us. Over 36,000 concurrent viewers at any given time today. That's been amazing. We're not done. We have one more panel to go. Maybe the most self-indulgent.
Sony.
Sony has a tendency to be very self-indulgent, and considering what happened at the end of the Microsoft conference with the Project Scorpio announcement,
I think we're going to see something else.
Sony's going to whip it out as well, I think. You know, we're going to whip them out and compare them. We're going to see whose is bigger.
Sony will probably wiggle it around a bit.
I mean, their conference is probably... Their conference is usually almost 3 hours. They're going to wiggle it around a lot, let me put it that way.
Much to our dismay.
Much to our dismay, no doubt. Wow. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, my name has been Totalbiscuit.
And I'm Jenna.
And thank you very much for watching the Snarkathon. That's 3 panels in a row. I am sorry that we had to cut the PC Gamer panel in favor of dancing lions and pandas. But as it shall be. There we go. We will be back in 2 hours, 50 minutes for the Sony panel, which will be the final panel of our E3 Snarkathon coverage. Thank you very much for watching. And apologies to all the talented developers that we just took a great big dump over for your entertainment. Keeping E3 in check. Let's put it that way. I think Jim Sterling said it best earlier that E3 is so far up its own arse that somebody needs to point and laugh at it from time to time. No doubt. Thank you very much for watching, folks. We'll be back in about 2 hours, 50 minutes. I'm gonna get a shower. I am disgusting. A disgusting nerd right now. Goodbye.